Mr. Anik Jain. He is MD at Dimensis Automation Private Limited and co-founder at Gamma Skills with mechatronics engineering background. He is involved in the robotics and automation field since the beginning. He has worked for Fanuc India, a leading industrial automation company, as a robotics application engineer. Along with this, Mr. Anik co-founded Gamma Skills in order to skill up people by educating them about robotics and automation, and caters to ever-growing demand for talented workforce of the automation industry. He hopes that the knowledge and vision he holds, he would leave a mark in the automation industry someday. Mr. Anik will deliberate upon robotics competency development in India. So delegates, let's welcome Mr. Anik.
So I've been asked to talk on competency development, which is actually a major challenge in any sector that we talk about, not only our robotics and automation sector. It's very common to come across people who have the right skill set ending up in wrong organizations, and the organizations never get the people who possess the specific skill set for their particular task or particular job that the company requires to be done. And this has actually it's zoomed in from the COVID era for the past 2.5 years. And this pandemic that has gripped the entire world for a very long time now has actually taught us a lot of things. One thing which I believe COVID has done is that it has accelerated growth very, very quickly. And the things that we are expected to see 5-7 years from now are almost here for us to see. Taking our own example, we as site engineers, being an ex-Fanuc, so for 8 to 9 years I've been at site, we never knew that we could also work from home. So COVID has now taught us that even site engineers like us can work from home, train people from home, and get the work done even at a better efficiency that we used to do from office. And it has taken an entire pandemic for us to realize that the meetings that we used to have at client side or with the customers, there was no need to go to their particular site or particular office, and it was only a waste of fuel, time and money, where you can actually do that from a click of a button. One more thing that COVID has actually done is that it has shifted the learning to online a lot more. Due to this, everybody, if I talk about students from schools and colleges and even the industry professionals, they have now, they look for resources online so that they can be wherever they are and get access to a lot of things. So that is actually great, because they have access to pre-recorded lectures that they can listen to again and again and learn at their own pace. They have teachers and doubt clearing sessions very frequently, which is probably not possible in school because 40 minutes for 40 students is far too less. So the edtech industry has actually got a boom in the past some time during this pandemic. So yes, that is something that has happened, but it does come with its share of disadvantages as well. The major disadvantage being the hands-on experience that the students are getting right now, and the learning by doing methodology. So that is somehow taken a back seat in this online learning era, which actually highlights and which actually is primary reason for this gap in the industry that we're talking about. So the knowledge level of the people who want to join the industry and the industries who want people with a specific skill set. So the gap is very huge if we talk about that right now. So I have an example where I had a friend who had joined this great IT company, so who had this, who was expert in C++ and Java and Python. And he told me that my actual work would start after 1 year, than this 1 year. And this 1 year is a training period. So it came as a surprise to me, and I asked him that you are an expert in everything, why do you need that 6 or 1 year of a training period? So he said that in these 6 months, I have not been learning anything. These 6 months are for unlearning whatever I have learned in college, so that the company where I am, they can teach me they can teach me the things they want, and to teach me the things the way they want, and to get things done so that I can be a perfect fit in the company. So this is actually the harsh reality, that whatever we are taught in schools and colleges and what we are required to do in the industry, so that gap is very large as of now. If we come to the robotics and the automation industry, as Mr. Krishna already mentioned, that India is brimming with opportunities right now. A lot of foreign companies are investing right now. If you talk about manufacturing, the EV sector that is coming up, Reliance investing into AdWork very recently, and all these cases are there to tell us yes, the automation industry is at a peak, and it is only can go into one direction from here. But the problem that we as automation experts or automation industry members, the challenges that we face right now is the availability of the people with right kind of skills, who possess the right skills, who are easily able to understand what automation is, what robots is, what CNCs, PLCs, IoTs, IIoTs, all this technology is. Why am I emphasizing so much on hands-on experience? So I'd just like to give a quick example of me being in the robotics industry. I've done a lot of robotic installations. So if you talk about robotic installations, we start with the design of the system, where we choose what all equipment we are required to have. Then we go down to the proposal, where we integrate all the elements. Theoretically, we just build the concept, and we understand how things are made. So once I have everything available with me at site, if I have to do the actual commissioning of the system, that is where my hands-on experience will come on handy. No amount of theoretical knowledge or online knowledge will be able to help me if I do not have the practical experience. As it's very commonly said in our industry, we can gauge what a person knows about a particular robot by the way he holds a teeth pendant. So if you've never held a teeth pendant in your life, you won't be able to say that you are quite confident in commissioning the robot. It's very similar to you learning driving on a training simulator and not driving a car actually on a highway, on an actual car on an actual highway. So you'll never be able to say that you know driving. It's quite similar to that in our actual industry, and that is actually the reality we people are facing right now. And it's not the students and the industry professionals who are to blame for that. When we grew up as robotic engineers, we also lacked the resources. Online resources were not available to understand these sort of things. We had the lack of mentors. Our industry professionals and our teachers also did not have that much of knowledge that they could guide us into what a robot is, how an actual robot looks like, and what all can it do. So that exposure has always been missing. Even our industrial visits that used to happen, and even till date, the industrial visits that are happening are mostly not up to the mark, and are not fulfilling their agenda. Like I had went to this Hero plant in 2012, where I was very boastfully told that yes, we make one bike in 6 seconds, but none of us bothered to explain us how are you actually doing that in 6 seconds, which is actually the crux of the situation. So if you don't know how things are getting done, so it's very difficult to say that yes, you are a robotics engineer. Even if we come across industry professionals working for 4, 5, 6 years in the industry, who have that tag of a robotics engineer, but they don't even understand what a 6-axis robot is, or why are they using a 6-axis robot for their particular application, or what is a singularity, which is actually the very, very, very basics of robotics and automation. So to cater to this, after identifying this, we at Gamma Skills chose to do something about this. And what we do is we are having our own training program, where we train and we give that exposure that we're talking about to school students, college students, and even industry professionals. We have comprehensive training programs which are built by people who are 10 to 12 years experience in the industry, who have actually been on site and know how things are getting done. So we believe in that progressive training, where we put into use the concept we learned yesterday into making something useful today and henceforth. So that is the learning we actually believe it should be done, and that is what we are attempting to do. So that would be all. I'd just like to conclude by saying that it is just a misconception that robotics and automation is the future. What we believe at Gamma Automation, it is something that is happening right now. So it is the bus we cannot afford to miss. So the quicker you understand this, the better it will be for everybody. Thank you so much.